Hey everyone, it's Monday already. It's November 10th, 2025. This is Off the Ledge. This is the time that I record a video every day to keep us spiritually aligned. And it's as good for me as it is for you. Maybe it's better for me than it is for you. It's really, really important to do a spiritual check-in. And here's why. Because we live in a world that we don't want right now. All appearances are this is not what we want. And so this morning you probably saw the headlines, the Democrats caved or something to that effect. Let's talk about energy, because that's what I'm hyper aware of right now. Especially our energy is being manipulated by this regime. And it's not like they don't know what they're doing. We're talking about decades and decades of figuring out how to manipulate people's minds. I mean, to put it in simplistic terms, you can think about when you first heard about advertising and marketing and the idea of subliminal seduction, right? I need to show my sign here. Hang on. My marketing person tells me my sign should show. So, subliminal seduction, remember that? Remember learning about what that is? It's a way of taking your power. It's a way of distorting the way that you think. It's a way of getting you to desire something that you didn't know you desired. Maybe planting a seed. And in the negative, subliminal suggestions, psychological manipulation of a populace is to get everyone to feel intensely a certain way and to convince them that's the reality that they're in and there's no other reality except that. So don't even try to think about it, because you'd be delusional to think about some other reality other than what they're presenting to you. So stop. Just stop. It's like energy vampires sucking your power. And if you doubt that, check in with yourself. Read a headline that's completely discouraging and completely upsetting, and notice how it feels in your energy system. This is how I know we're being psychologically manipulated to give our power to this regime. Our greatest power is our sense of self-empowerment. So I'm going to tell you what I do. When I feel myself going down that road, I mean, I might dwell there for a while, because I feel like that's acceptable, that's okay. What's not okay is if I allow myself to stay there. Then I have reached the zone of there's no returning. And that's what we have to avoid. So pull yourself out of it. Know you're being manipulated. And know that we're going through a massive shift in human consciousness evolution. And part of that shift is to choose. Not to check out. Part of the shift is to choose. To see it another way. To see it the way that's for the highest good of all. And pass it on, because way too many of us are staying in the pit of despair and the pit of powerlessness. Pass it on. That's where they need us. That's what we can't stand for. No matter how many times they hit, we hit back. Why? Because our lives depend on it, and the lives of all those that you love depend on it. I'm talking about physical life. All right, that having been said, let's go to Ernest Holmes, who I just had here a second ago. Well, let's go to Kathy Beale first. Today's the 10th. Oh, actually, what I'm going to do is I didn't get to play you yesterday, so let me play you yesterday's first.
This is Kathy Beal of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for November 9th, 2025. Time still feels like it has slowed down. Take advantage of it. Mercury is starting his final retrograde of the year. It will go until November 29th. Cups have a way of being greater as a retrograde begins and then later as it ends. Allow yourself tons of extra time since he's retrograde in the sign of philosophy and politics. Please pick your conversation topics and welcome the opportunity for do-overs. That's all for now. This is Kathy.
I'll play you the one for today after I read Ernest Holmes. That's the one from yesterday that I couldn't find. Okay. Mercury's gone retrograde, and you know, I really want to get past this hyperventilating over Mercury going retrograde. That's what we're talking about. A few years ago, maybe 20 years ago, when you said Mercury retrograde, everyone panicked. That's like a psychological manipulation. It is. If people freak out because Mercury's retrograde, that's a psychological manipulation. Mind. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ. This scriptural passage means that we should recognize the divine incarnation, universal in essence, but individualized in personal experience. The spiritual genius of Christ enabled him to see that each is a unique representation, an individualized expression of one mind. The mind of God in us is the mind of Christ. At the center of every man's being, the eternal Christ waits, knocking at the door of his intellect for admission. This is not a far-away presence, nor a future advent. The recognition of Christ can come to anyone at any time. That just means the light consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the love consciousness. The recognition of Christ can come to anyone at any time and under any circumstance. The consciousness that walked over the troubled waters of human experience. The inner calm that stilled the tempest is accessible to everyone. And so it is. We have to choose. We have to choose. Are we going to stay in the pit of despair? Or are we going to activate? And knowing that the power that created us is guiding us through the storm. We can handle a storm. We can handle many storms. And you know what happens when we handle storms? We become strong and resilient, and most importantly, very clear about what needs to happen. So this is no less than a fight for our survival and a fight for democracy's survival. I do know that, and I'll post it on my community page. I think I already did. That there are certain states that their senators have to be called up. Their representatives need to be called up and reprimanded for caving into the fascists. So I think New Hampshire was one of the states. Yeah, it is. When we the people get on that, it will shift, but we have to get on it. All right. Let's see. Let's play to November 10th from Kathy Beal. So that one I just played you was November 9th.
Beal of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for November 10, 2025. Things feel a little strange in a different way than they have been. There's a stillness or a sense of hanging in the air. That's going to be in place for a few days. Mercury has just gone retrograde. We're feeling that. Jupiter is about to go retrograde, and that's giving kind of an undertow feel. The first half of the day is very sensitive, maybe a little dreamy, and then the second half of the day is much more energetic, high energy, high playfulness, high strutting your stuff. So plan your time accordingly. That's all for now. This is Kathy.
So I just want to mention about the Mercury retrograde thing. We can consider Mercury retrograde as being the best thing ever, because it's a great time to rest, to regroup, to redirect, to redo. And what is most beneficial to us right now is to go inward. And Mercury retrograde is about going inward. So let's think about, maybe you can download Miracle of Mind, Sadhguru's app. It's free, just to get you into a practice of meditating. View it as a wonderful time, just like we can view winter as a wonderful time, or a rainy day. We certainly need the rain. I'm picking a fairy card. Forest Fae. The Sentinel. New opportunities shall manifest in unexpected ways. I feel like that's for me, but it's for you too, because we're all connected. New opportunities shall manifest in unexpected ways. I love that for today. And let's pull 3 Osho cards to guide us. To book a session, psychic.dion.com. And also, if you become a member, you have access to all the things that I teach. And you're also invited to a psychic party once a month. Okay, let's see. And please hit the thumbs up. And thank you. And please watch Church of Spirituality from yesterday. We need the tools. The miser has come up again and again and again and again. And that's about the oligarchs trying to, well, what we're doing, they're trying to control us. But what we're trying to do, or we're attempting to do, and we are actively doing, is taking control of our own lives over the oligarchs. And it's our morality that leads the way. And that's a real strong energy. The morality, that's a really strong energy coming through. So we're going to take our morality, we're going to take control with our morality over this crap. This is a time that we have to open our hearts. This is a time where we're forced to recognize that we are in this together. If we didn't get the message during COVID, well, we're getting it now. I love you lots. This is like a spiritual kick in the you-know-what. And I'll do a video later, and I'll upload it just about what's going on in the news. And thank you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, and see you soon. Namaste.